Hey, I am currently floating in a massive glacially fed lake. It is the most alluring color of blue. I I could stare at it all day and maybe never get enough. But I am sitting here pack rafting around a little island out on the water near where we're camped. And I just keep thinking about the fact that I don't really know where to start when talking about something that I have wanted to bring to life for years. And it's so funny because I've spent so much time thinking on it, marinating on it, trying to decide what I want it to be. But the hardest part is just figuring out where to begin. Why is that so hard? Maybe the best place to start is by introducing myself. Hi, I'm Mac, and I guess a little bit about myself. I have been traveling full time for the last 8.5 years out of a large number of different campers and automobiles. I am a filmmaker and photographer. And it's funny because my husband and I, Owen, we got on the road because we were wanting to be closer to the things that we love to do. And through that process, it kind of actually gave us space to change our careers entirely. I don't know that that would have happened if we would have been in a traditional 9-to-5 job, in an office, in a house. I don't know. I think that giving ourselves the space to kind of step away from tradition also kind of gave us the space to realize that maybe there was something different that we wanted to contribute to the world. So over the course of the last 8.5 years, I have transitioned out of a career as a graphic designer, which I was doing a little bit more out of necessity. My degree is in printmaking, and unfortunately people don't know what that is. So if they don't know what it is, they don't really know how to give you a job around it. So I became a graphic designer out of necessity, not out of desire. And I've always had this really strong drive to only do work that feels like it's lighting my soul on fire. So I knew that something was going to have to change. And I think that being out here, living maybe a non-traditional life and breaking myself away from that pace gave me the space to kind of figure out that I needed and wanted to do something different. It seems like once you make a big change, a big overhaul in your life, in my personal experience, I've come to find that once you've done that once, it's not hard anymore. It doesn't feel out of reach. It isn't unfathomable anymore. And so in that spirit, I feel like I am just in this constant place of forging a new path for myself, because I think that once you get a taste of what is right versus what is not right in your life, that you just kind of start making these intuitive pushes in the direction of what feels good. So those small changes and iterations, I think, is what has brought me to talking to you here right now as I sit in my inflatable boat on a big blue lake in the middle of nowhere in Canada. I have kind of found that I have come to the point where storytelling is so obviously, to me anyways, what I am meant to be doing. And now that I know that, I just feel like I'm so hungry for change and evolution in that realm. And I've been looking for an outlet for that, to do it faster, to kind of have a space to experiment and to try new things. And I've kind of felt like in our video work, I can't do that anymore. The lead times are so long. it takes so much work to bring those projects to life that it's just not satiating this appetite for evolution to come at a faster clip than it does in that work. So I hatched the idea to start a podcast and kind of bring you along in that storytelling evolution. I feel like this is for you just as much as it is for me. I hope that through my own experimentation in storytelling that maybe there's something fun for you to learn along the way with me. So welcome to Camp Nowhere. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently around here. For whatever reason, I do feel compelled to describe to you kind of the ideas that I have for this podcast. Maybe it's because I just don't want you to think that I'm crazy, but I have a lot of different ideas. And as I mentioned, I just want to make sure that this is an environment that feels like it's open to experimentation and trial and error. So I have a whole bunch of different creative directions that I want to take this in. Some of the episodes will just be you and I. We're just going to have a conversation out here somewhere outside. I wanted to make sure that when I am doing solo episodes that I'm kind of in an environment where I feel like I am the best version of myself. And that is when I am outside. So maybe we'll go for walks. Maybe we'll go for paddles. But it'll just be you and me, hashing out ideas, thoughts, creative pursuits, different types of stories, where we're at, where we're going. Kind of leaving things open-ended as far as that's concerned. But I knew that no matter what, if I was going to be by myself, that I wanted to take you into the environment that has brought so much positive change into my life. And that's being outside, wherever we happen to be on any given day. Then, sometimes, it might be a conversation with someone else. Maybe talking to somebody about something that they do that's really inspiring to me. Or maybe they're going to tell me a story. Maybe some of these episodes will have a lot of people contributing stories. I also have ideas where I ask you all to share some of your stories on a certain topic and kind of put them together into groups. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I hadn't forgotten the assignment. And just that we're going to be here kind of figuring this out as we go together. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But I do want to, before I let you go, quickly talk about maybe why it's taken so long for something like this to happen, to come to life, if you will. I've had this conversation with many people over the last couple of months as I've been working towards making and releasing a podcast. And it's just this idea that I think a lot of us want perfection to a certain degree. When we have an idea for creative people, we want it to be in its final, best possible, fully realized form before it goes out into the world. But my quest for that has kept this podcast from getting made for almost 3 years. I think I just hold myself to a certain standard and want it to feel like this is meeting those standards. And if I keep waiting for perfect, it's just never going to happen. And I really want this to happen. I really want to have the opportunity to maybe I just really want to create an environment that just feels like it's free of outside influence. just so much of life feels like it's dictated by other people's ideas of what you should or could be doing. And I've just found that I am the best version of myself. I make the best work when I am 100% kind of following my own compass, if you will. And I found that to be the case in both creative pursuits as well as life in general. And so I really want to make sure that I'm just giving myself the space and the freedom to try things. Because I think that so many of us kind of feel like we get pigeonholed into being a certain way, telling a certain type of story, looking a certain way. And then as we go through life, we start to be afraid to take risks and experiment. And I don't want that to be the case. I kind of feel like that is actually causes stagnation and, with it, just lack of growth. So this is me taking a really long time to say, I'm about to do whatever I want. And I'm bringing you with me. I hope it's an enjoyable experience for you because I know it will be for me. I've got a lot of exciting things planned, and I hope you'll stick around. All right. Talk soon.